students, welcome to 10th class biology. So we were discussing about reproduction in plants and animals. Last class we covered vegetative reproduction present in plants. Okay, then we discussed about fragmentation and also budding, fission and regeneration. Now we are going to study about asexual reproduction. So reproduction is three types: vegetative reproduction, asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. So what is mean by asexual reproduction? That is my question. Asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction. So in sexual reproduction, you can see gametes, male and female gametes involved, and there are two parents involved. Okay, in sexual reproduction. But in asexual reproduction, there is only a single parent involved. Only a single parent, and there is no gametes involved. No male gametes or no female gametes. So a single parent which produces it is offsprings. That mode of reproduction is called asexual reproduction. What is asexual reproduction? It is a mode of reproduction in which a single parent which produces it is offsprings or it is children. All these children, they are identical and they are exactly same like their parent. They are identical copies, exact copies, identical and exact copies of their parent. Exact copies of their parent. So you understood what is my asexual reproduction? In asexual reproduction, you can see only a single parent, and the single parent produces it is children or it is offsprings. All these produced offsprings, they are genetically identical and they are exactly copy of their parent. Okay, so that is asexual reproduction. So we are going to study a type of asexual reproduction that is called spore formation. Spore formation. Spore formation, it is present in bacteria and fungi. Spore formation, it is a type of asexual reproduction present in bacteria and fungi. These two organisms, they show this type of asexual reproduction, spore formation. What is actually spore formation? This bacteria and fungi, they produce spores, and these spores which develop into a new bacteria or fungus. Okay, so now we are going to study detailing what is spore formation. For example, this is a fungus, and this fungus name is Rhizopus. Okay, and this is the fungus, and this fungus body, it is called hyphae. Fungal body is called hyphae. H-Y-P-H-A-E, hyphae. Fungal body is called hyphae. From this hyphae, what you can see? You can see sporangiophore. Okay, and this sporangiophore which bear a sac, a bag-like structure or sac, which is called sporangium. Sporangium. Okay, so this fungus which forms sporangium or sac-like structure. In this sac-like structure or bag-like structure, what you can see? Spores you can see. Okay, spores. So these are the spores. This is a sporangium, and this is sporangia. Inside this sporangia, you can see spores. And how these spores developed in each sporangia or sporangium? My next question: how spores are developed, or how spores are formed inside this sporangium? Inside this sporangium, the nucleus which divide into many nuclei. Okay, inside this sporangium, the nucleus which divides continuously into many nuclei, and each nucleus surrounds by less cytoplasm. So nuclei and the cytoplasm, which form spores. Okay, so each nuclei and which surrounded by less cytoplasm, that structure becomes spore. And the spores which are liberated by from this sporangiophore, these are these sporangium, these are the sporangium, and inside this sporangium spores are formed by the repeated continuous division of nuclei, and the spores which are liberated from this sporangium, and they are fall off and they reaches on the ground or ground surface. Then what happens when they reach on the when this spore which reaches on the substratum or ground level, what happens? This spore which tries to germinate, which form it is fungal body hyphae, and it become a complete rhizobus again, or complete fungus again. Okay, so this is the asexual reproduction present in fungus. So what happens here? Spores are produced. Where these spores are produced? Spores are produced in sporangium. From where this sporangium developed? Sporangium developed from fungal hyphae. Okay, and inside this sporangium, nucleus divide into many nuclei, and many nuclei surrounded by less cytoplasm, that's become spores, and the spores are liberated and they reach on the ground level and or soils or substratum, the ground level or surface, and on this surface or substratum they germinate and they form hyphae and they become complete fungus. Okay, and the spore formation, these types of asexual reproduction present in bacteria and fungi. So these points keep in mind. So next we are going to discuss about sexual reproduction in plants. Okay, sexual reproduction in plants. So next we are going to discuss about sexual reproduction. So what is mean by sexual reproduction? Sexual reproduction, it is a process of in which two gametes, what are the two gametes? Male gamete and female gamete, they fuse together and they produce offsprings of their own kind. Okay, so in sexual reproduction there are two gametes, male gamete and there is male gamete and female gamete. And this male gamete and female gamete, they fuse and they form their offsprings. Okay, so it is a process, sexual reproduction is a process in which two gametes, male and female gametes, they fuse and they form their offsprings. For the production of these male and female gametes, we need what? We need female gametes, which are produced by female gametes are produced from female sex organ, and male gametes are produced from male sex organ or male reproductive organ. Male reproductive or male sex organ. Okay, so that's about sexual reproduction. Then if you look on in case of plants, you observe sexual reproduction in plants, their reproductive organ, which is flower. So we are going to study sexual reproduction in plants. Which is the reproductive organ in plants which present on the plant? The answer is flower. So flower, which is the reproductive organ in the plant. And what is actually flower? It is a modified shoot. Okay, so shoot which is modified into actually flower. Flower is a modified shoot and it is the reproductive organ present in the plant. So flower, it is made up of 4 whorls. Okay, you can see here one picture. So it is made up of 4 whorls, and these whorls, they are formed on the structure called thalamus. So where you can see these 4 whorls of the flower, they are formed on the thalamus. Let's check what are the 4 whorls of the flower. First of all, calyx, outer whorl calyx. This is called calyx. this structure. Okay, this green color structure, that is called calyx. If you observe flower, you can see such kind of green color structure around flower, that is called calyx. And this calyx, which consists of sepals. So calyx is formed of sepals. Okay, so this is another one sepal and this is another sepal, and sepals, they form the complete structure, complete word called calyx. Then after calyx, we are going to check another word, that is called corolla. So these structure, they constitute corolla, and this corolla, it is made up of petals. So this is one petal, this is another petal, this is another petal. All these petals, they form complete structure, that is called corolla. So another word which is corolla. Next word, next part, it is androecium. The male sex organ in flower, which is called androecium. So androecium, this part which is constitute androecium. Androecium consists of stamens. So this is stamen, this is another stamen, and this is another stamen, this is another stamen. All these stamens, they form the male sex organ called androecium. Okay. The next one, which is next word of the flower, which is gynoecium. Gynoecium, or it is also called pistil. Gynoecium or pistil. So you can see here gynoecium. This structure is called gynoecium, or female sex organ present in the flower. And this gynoecium, which is made up of carpels. Okay. So what are the four words present on the flower? Calyx, corolla, androecium, and gynoecium. Okay. So calyx consists of sepals, and corolla consists of petals, androecium consists of stamens, and gynoecium or pistil consists of carpels. Okay, don't confuse with this. And this calyx and corolla, they are together called non-essential word. Non-essential word, or also called accessory words. Why? What is the mean by non-essential words? Because calyx and corolla part of the flower, which do not have a direct role in reproduction. They are not participating in reproduction in flower. Understood? So they have no direct role in reproduction. So they are called non-essential words. But our androecium and gynoecium, they are called essential words. You know androecium, which is a male sex organ, and gynoecium is a female sex organ present in flower. So they have important role in reproduction. So they are called essential words. Calyx and corolla, they are called non-essential word because they have no role in reproduction. But in case of androecium, gynoecium, they have role in reproduction. They are called essential word. Okay. Now we are going to study what is the structure of androecium and gynoecium. Okay. So let's check androecium, structure of androecium. So androecium is a male part of the flower. Androecium, it is a male part of the flower, and if you observe the structure of androecium, you can see a stalk-like structure. A stalk-like structure, that is called filament. And this filament which is attached to a bag-like structure. This bag-like structure, that is called anther. Okay, bag-like structure, anther. So this anther and filament, they form the structure called stamen. So this is stamen. So we have seen these stamens in present the flower. These stamens, they constitute male part of the flower, that is called androecium. Okay, so androecium consists of stamens. So my next question, what is the structure of stamen? Stamen consists of a stalk-like structure called filament and bag-like structure called anther. In this anther, you can see what? You can see pollen grains. Pollen grains are produced inside this anther. So in anther, what produce? Pollen grains are present. And this anther breaks and pollen grains are released outside, and these pollen grains, they travel from one plant or one flower to next flower or one plant to next plant. Okay. So my next question, what is the structure of pollen grain? So pollen grain, they have important role in reproduction. Where these pollen grains are produced? They are produced inside this anther. Okay. So let's look on the structure of pollen grain. Okay, next we are going to look on the pollen grain, structure of pollen grain. So my question, where these pollen grains are formed? They are formed inside this anther. So when this anther break off, these pollen grains are released. Okay. So when you observe this pollen grain under microscope, they are looking like this. They have something like a spherical shape. So pollen grain, they have spherical shape. And this pollen grain structure, if you observe, you can see two layers are present, outer layer and inner layer. Outer layer, which is something hard, and so this layer is called exine. This is called exine. This hard outer layer is called exine. The inner layer of the pollen grain, inner layer, which is thin layer and which is called indime. Okay, so this is indime. On this exine outer layer, apertures are present. Those apertures are called germ pore. So here on this exine, germ pore is present. This aperture is called germ pore. Then inner layer, indime, which is made up of pectin and cellulose. Inner layer, indime, which is continuous layer. There is no apertures or another structures present on this inner line indime, and this layer is continuous layer, and this layer is made up of pectin and cellulose. And the pollen grain, they contain two types of cells. What are the two types of cells? Vegetative cell and generative cell. Vegetative cell and generative cell. So inside this vegetative cell, generative cell is present, and the nucleus of this vegetative cell is something like a large nucleus. They have big nucleus. And generative cell, which divides and they form male gametes. Generative cell which divides by mitotically and they form two male gametes. Okay, and these male gametes, they are coming through these germ pores. Okay, and this germ pore, they are present on the exine. So these are about pollen grain. They have something like a spherical structure, and they are made up of two layers, outer layer exine and inner layer indime. Inner layer is thin, outer layer is very hard. Indime is made up of pectin and cellulose, and inside this pollen grain there are two cells are present, vegetative cell and generative cell, and this generative cell divides mitotically and they produce two male gametes. Okay, these are about structure of pollen grain. Let's discuss about female part of the flower. So what is the female part of the flower? Gynoecium. Okay, so gynoecium is formed of carpels. You know androecium. Androecium is a male part which is formed of stamen. So we studied the structure of stamen, and also we studied about pollen grains. Same like here, the female part of the flower which is called gynoecium, and gynoecium which consists of carpels. Okay, so this is the picture of carpel. So next we are going to discuss what is the structure of carpel. The carpel, which has three parts: stigma, style and ovary. You can see in this picture, the top of the carpel you can see stigma. This knob-like structures, knob-like part of this carpel is called stigma, and on this stigma the pollen grains which are landed and which germinate on this stigma. Okay, Then you can see a long tube-like structure that is called style. Then the style which leads into ovary, and inside this ovary, ovule which is found. Okay, and this ovule, inside this ovule you can see female gametes. So female gametes found inside this ovule, and ovule found in this ovary. Okay, so carpel which has three parts. What are the parts of the carpel? The top, at the top stigma present, the long tube-like structure, style, then ovary. So clear. Next we are going to study the structure of ovule.